how's your life? I hope you are doing well. My name is Tadia Azrieliani from Group 3. In this special occasion, let me continue what the Group 2 has explained before. I'm going to explain two parts such as substitution and ellipsis, then the patterns of cohesion. In this course analysis, substitution and ellipsis are two types of grammatical cohesion that are used to connect parts of a discourse. So, what is that? If you are still confused, please pay attention to this video. First, substitution. A substitute form is used for another language item, phrase, or group. We can say that substitution is the alternation of a specific linguistic unit in a discourse with another linguistic unit that has the same or similar meaning. It can be substitution of nouns with other nouns, substitution of verbs with other verbs, or substitution of clauses with other clauses. Let's see the following example. This example can involve substituting an item for a noun. In the following example, one that I bold substitutes for the noun of book. Next, it can involve substituting an item for a verb. In this example, done substitutes for the verb group of had dinner. Next, an item may also substitute for a clause. In the following example, so substitutes for the clause you are still happy. Next, ellipsis. With ellipsis, some essential elements is omitted from the text and can be recovered to a preceding element in the text. Ellipsis may involve the omission of a noun or noun group, a verb or verbal group, or a clause. Let's see the following example. It is a radio call-in show. There are examples of ellipsis in each of the caller's responses. In the caller's first response, the main clause I want to say is ellipsed. If we would like to talk in grammar, we may add I want to say. But here we omit it. In the second response, it was over is ellipsed. And then the final response of a whole clause is omitted, like they usually are silly. And the main clause of the next two dependent clauses I want to say are omitted. These are ellipsed as the caller response built on the content. Next, the differences between references, ellipsis, and substitution. It is important to point out the differences between reference and ellipsis substitution. One difference is that reference can reach a long way back in the text. Meanwhile, ellipsis and substitution are largely limited to the immediately preceding clause. Another key difference is that with reference, there is a typical meaning of co-reference. That is, both items typically refer to the same thing. With ellipsis and substitution, this is not the case. There is always some difference between the second instance and the first. A speaker or writer want to revert to the same thing they use reference. If they want to revert to something different, they use ellipsis and substitution. Second point is about patterns of cohesion. The following two paragraphs of Milne's Winnie the Pooh, 1965, in terms of lexical cohesion and the main reference chains in this section of the text. Those two paragraphs open Milne's book. As can be seen in figure 6.6, there are three main lexical chains in this section of the text. The first is the subject of the text, Winnie the Pooh. The second is the staircase And then the third is the way in which Winnie the Pooh comes down the stairs. Winnie the Pooh's formal name is Edward Bear. This is what he is called in the first time he is mentioned in the text. The next item, hat, is in a part-whole relationship with Edward Bear. That is, a hat is part of a bear, in this case, Edward Bear. The relationship between these two items is one of merenomy.